Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to do a full face of CLE De Peau Beauty, and I have the new concealers. We're going to do a little review, comparison, and wear test at the end. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. As you know, I have my online beauty consulting service, which is a one-on-one Zoom chat with me, and you get to talk to me about anything makeup related that you want, whether you have a very extensive makeup collection or maybe you want some advice purchasing some products, but you don't want that sales pressure. That is what my service is for. So to make an appointment for yourself, go ahead and click the link in the description box down below. All right, I went ahead and ordered myself some CLE De Peau makeup. I also had some items sent to me here from CLE De Peau, the brand. So we're gonna go ahead and create a beautiful springtime look. I have an eye color quad here. This is the refill number 304. I forgot to get the actual case itself because they sell the case and the refill separately. So when you finish up a product, you can just buy the refill. But anyway, this is number 304 here. I wanted something light, something fresh, something very spring and pastel. And here are the swatches here. So I do definitely see some Easter colors here, just with like the pastel greens and the lilac. I think there's going to be enough color variation in the palette here because you can obviously do something very colorful, but then you also have more neutral satiny colors. So 304 is just satin. There's no matte here. And then I also picked up a blush duo here. This is number 101. Now, the only issue that I had in selecting my eyeshadows or blushes was really just deciding on which ones to get. I will definitely get more products, more blushes, more colors in general, but the issue is deciding which ones you want because they're all so pretty. So again, this is 101. It looks perfectly pink. It looks light, but not too light. There's a nice blush and highlighter duo here, so you can swirl your brush around. You can dip into one and then the other. It's kind of nice to have that variety. So let me go ahead and ruin it by giving you a swatch at home. So here we have the blush duo on the side. As you can see, the highlighting color isn't too flashy. It's pretty subtle. So I think I will go ahead and layer it with the blush later on. So let's go ahead and do eyes first. I have their new eyebrow gel, number 102. This is for dark brown. I apologize if you can hear loud noises. Apparently we have entered construction season here in Montreal, so I'm just doing my best. So again, 102 is a dark brown. There are several colors to choose from, and this is the wand right here. So this is a colored or tinted brow gel. If you want a very natural eyebrow look, you could just go ahead and use a tinted brow gel to keep them in place. I like to fill them in first and then go in with the brow gel just to lock them in place. And there are other colors to choose from. I typically go for like anything that says dark brown. That typically matches me. Now, what to do for the eyes? I could go ahead and go totally green to match my look, but I am very persuaded by this beautiful lilac shade here. So that is the color that we are going to go into. I'm using a Chanel makeup brush here. Everything is listed in the description down below, so you can go ahead and check that out. As I suspected, this is a very soft and subtle lilac. I know it looks purple, but it's more like a lilac. You know, it's not very flashy. It's very subtle, and it is what I expected because when I think of CLE De Peau, I think very classy, timeless, and I think oftentimes their clientele tends to be a bit more mature. So the formula for the products works better for mature skin, and that includes mature eyelids. So it's not going to be a super tacky or flashy purple. It's very subtle. If you have like a purple eyeliner, you can go in to emphasize it, but as you can see, it's very subtle and very tasteful. I'm using a separate brush here just to blend this out. And the formula, like I said, is satin. It's not a chunky glitter, but there also is no matte. But you can see it's not looking crepey. It doesn't look too much. It's just adding a little bit of luminosity to the eye look. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of this lighter, almost like champagne-y silver color, and I'm going to place it on the inner corner of the eye here. I'm using the opposite end of the brush. To emphasize more of the purple, I'm going into a colorful eyeliner. I have one from Chantecaille. I don't have one yet from CLE De Peau. This is the Amethyst eyeliner. It has a little hint of purple to it and a little bit of shift. So I think this will be a nice color to mix with this lilac shade. I'm also taking a little bit more of that lilac color and blending it under the bottom lashes here. Let me go ahead and throw on some mascara really quick. Again, I don't have one from CLE De Peau yet, so I'm using one from Chantecaille. All right, let's move on to complexion. So I have here a new product. This is the Brightening Enhancing Veil. So this is a primer. It has a little bit of a rosy hue to it, so it gives you that boost of glow. And I have the description here on the product. So it says, define your most radiant and colorful life. A brightening skincare primer that enhances clarity and luminosity. So it's a hybrid makeup and skincare product that's supposed to amplify your radiant finish. It also, what else does it say? I don't think it has an SPF in this one. Honestly, if it did have an SPF, it would be camouflaged because here in Canada, we are very strict about SPF. It says that it has the Skin Empowering Illuminator, which is the CLE De Peau skincare ingredient that's exclusive to the brand. So when you use it, make sure the cap is on and give it a good shake. And this is the product here. It doesn't really have a scent. So it's a liquid, it's a runny product like this. And it has a little bit of a pink hue, but trust me, it's not like that pink. You'll blend it out into the skin and it just illuminates. It doesn't look pink. So to blend it out, you could use your fingertips. I am using my foundation brush. You could use a makeup sponge, like a wet makeup sponge if you'd like. I think just whatever method you like to apply your foundation, apply the primer the same way. If you wanted to, you could mix a drop or two of this into your foundation, or I prefer the layering method, but it's up to you. It depends how extra you feel. Like if you feel like concocting your foundation and primer on the back of your hand, or if you just like to blend it out like I'm doing. Now hold on a second, because I want to do a little bit of comparison with the Chanel Rosy Light Drops, because this is the product that I first thought of as a comparison. So this is the Chanel Rosy Light Drops. It's also 30 ml, but this is glass. So if you drop this, good luck, it's a huge mess. Whereas this one here is in plastic, so it's a little bit safer in case you have like a cat or something. Let me just give a little swatch here. So again, this is the product. It's very liquidy, very runny. And then this is Chanel over here. At first I thought that Chanel was very liquid, but in comparison, it's a bit more of a jelly texture, and I think CLE De Peau is more fluid. So this is Chanel over here, and this is CLE De Peau. I think Chanel is way more pink actually, and CLE De Peau is more peachy. And I think that the CLE De Peau one, is obviously much more fluid, more runny. I think it disperses maybe a little bit easier because it is like that runny liquid water consistency. But yeah, I thought that this was going to be more pink, but it's actually more peachy. than this one here. So in case you had questions at home, because I know as soon as I mention a product that is similar to anything that I've had before, I get tons of questions. Brightening primer is really beautiful. I've been wearing this on like no makeup days, so you can wear it as a primer before foundation. But if you just want to add glow and luminosity without actually going into real deal makeup, you can go ahead and just apply this and maybe a touch of concealer and you would be perfectly fine. Now, a lot of you know that there is currently a Cils de Peau friends and family sale, and this sale is continuing until April 14th. So you have a few more days to curate your shopping cart. This is online only, but it's great because I think it includes free shipping and also some samples. So if you're interested in purchasing items, you have until the 14th. I think some items are selling out, but they have a lot of stock. I'm just saying friends and family is always a good sale because brands like Cils de Peau are rather pricey. So I'm going into a foundation here. This is the Radiant Fluid Matte Foundation. I have the shade Light Medium. This is 020. This is the Broad Spectrum SPF 20. Again, if you get this in Canada, I think there's a sticker on top of the SPF just to hide it here. So I am actually quite shocked with how much I've been enjoying matte foundations because I have more dry, dehydrated skin. So usually I avoid any foundation that has the word matte in it. But I think I've come to realize that luxury foundations, when it comes to a matte finish, it rarely ever means like dry, cakey, anything like that. It's typically more just a soft velvet finish. And this is the case for this foundation here. Like it's not drying. There is a more, I want to say radiant finish. I think there is one that has a more natural finish, whereas this one is matte, but it's not drying. It's not cakey. It's just sort of like a soft velvet. And oftentimes these matte foundations tend to be a little bit more long wearing than the glowy ones. And so I know it might sound contradictory, but I like to go in with like a radiant primer and then a more matte foundation. I find that it offers a nice balance where the primer gives you radiance without oil, without looking greasy. And then the soft matte foundation just looks really natural. So this is one pump here. I think that's all I really need. This does have a nice level of coverage. If you wanted less coverage, add a little bit less, or you could just add a little bit more primer and mix it into your foundation just to sheer it out a little bit. Now let's move on to the world famous concealer. The Cils de Peau concealer has been my ultimate favorite for several years. Anytime I wear makeup on this channel, I mean, there's only a handful of times that I'm not wearing this concealer. It is my favorite. I have the old formula, I have the new formula. I also have a couple of shade options to give you some swatches. I've been doing wear tests on the side. Let's go ahead and break it down. This is the old formula here. This is the new formula. They are both 5 grams of product. My shade is number 4 Almond. They haven't changed the order around, but I do believe they've added some shades in the mix, which is nice. But you can tell here that the packaging hasn't really changed much, except, you know, instead of being ribbed, sort of, it's smooth, and then there's this groove in the center, which does make it a little bit easier to hold. So it's a little bit more, is that ergodynamic? Is that a word? Is that even the right word? I don't know. The engineering is a little bit different here, so it's easier to hold, but it's the same amount of product here. I have a little pamphlet with the information regarding the new formula. I have the information here. So it says here, the Classic Enhanced. The concealer reformulated hugs the skin in a thin layer of high yet natural looking coverage. It is a high coverage concealer. Like, it's not like a light coverage. It is more high coverage than other ones that I have. It says the favorite, artfully reformulated, a weightless texture of full coverage. The advanced, made possible by the addition of Cils de Peau's unique thin Fit Layer Formula X. So they've added some skincare components to the product here. They added something called Speedy Dry Oil, which forms a thin, even layer that comfortably fits to the skin. So it's supposed to, I mean, in general, I find that the Cils de Peau concealer is self-setting. It's not an item that you need to powder or worry about. Like once you blend it out, it just does its job here. They expanded the shade range. Now there are 13 shades to choose from. Almond is this one over here. So if you're darker than me, you have these options here. And what else does it say? It says it can last for up to 16 hours. I did not do a wear test for 16 hours, but it's not supposed to fade, crease, cake, dry. It's supposed to be moisturizing. I mean, I love this product. I don't think there's anything shocking there. It's been a favorite for over 30 years. It launched in 1991. Wow, I didn't know that. Good for them, congratulations. And Cils de Peau recently celebrated their 40 years of infinite radiance, and they sent me a little cake. It was nice. It was, when they sent me the cake, it was green, and I thought, oh, this is going to be a matcha cake. And fun fact, I really dislike anything matcha flavored, so I was like, perfect. They sent me a cake. I don't like it. I won't have to eat it. No, it's actually quite delicious. So I've actually been cutting it up and freezing it. That way I'm not tempted to eat the whole cake. So it's still in my freezer. But anyway, thank you Cils de Peau for sending me a delicious cake. Let me go ahead and do a swatch on the back of my hand of Almond, the original flavor here. And then I'll do a swatch next to it of the reformulation. Let's also do a little side-by-side of both of the products here. So this is both of the concealers. There is a little bit of difference in the older formula in that I've been using it for longer, so it's not as sharp around the edges because I've just been using it, so it's a bit more smooth around the edges. That's really the only difference. So here are both of the Almonds, original flavor and new and improved. Honestly, I don't see a difference. I know that this is a bit of a spoiler, but I have been using the old formula, the new formula, and I really cannot tell a difference in what they've done. I know that this is new and improved, but it's very, very subtle. Like if you had the original flavor and you need to get a new one and you're concerned, I really don't see a difference. It's a bit like when Chanel reformulated their eyeliners last year. If you hadn't told me that there was a new formulation, I wouldn't have known. Like I believe them that they've added something better and it's probably cleaner and better for us, but like as far as performance and wear, I don't see a difference. And so they also sent me a couple other colors too. They sent me number 3 beige. This is supposed to be a little bit lighter. So this is beige here. I'll give a swatch right next to it. More cool, more rosy. So there's definitely a difference between almond and beige. You can see beige looks more pink than beige to me, just as a reference for you. And then they also sent me number 5, honey. Honey will be a little bit darker here. So this is honey here. As I suspected, honey is a bit darker. It's more neutral, similar to almond. It doesn't have rosiness, but it's just like a shade darker than almond. So if you are a shade darker than me, I think honey might be the concealer for you. So what I will do is I will use new almond over here and old almond over there to show you that there is no difference. This may be an unpopular opinion, but I love when they do a reformulation and I can't tell. I think some people want to see newness. I don't know, like I don't mind that there's a new packaging. That's perfectly fine. But I like when it wears and blends and etc's the exact same way. Like there's a reason why I love this. So yeah, if they had done the exact same packaging and hadn't told us, I would not have known the difference. Now with any concealer, I like to let it sit on my face just for a few seconds. I just find that you always get more coverage and more performance. Even with this concealer, like any concealer. Just let it sit for a second. And what I mean that it's self-setting is you just have to blend it out and that's it. You don't have to use a powder. You don't have to bake. You don't have to look in the mirror 6 hours later and just like blend out your crow's feet. I hate when concealer does that. You know, when like you just forget that you have makeup on and then it's after lunch and you look in the mirror and your crow's feet has collected all of the concealer. That is the worst. This never happens with this one here. That's why it's been my favorite for so long, because it's just so consistent. It's consistently fabulous. So my eyeshadow look is practically done here. So you can tell that like this lilac, it's not going to be very flashy. If you want it to be more purple, go in with more eyeliner, maybe smudge it out, and then you can add more purple shadow. You could also wet your brush to get a more intense look, but I kind of like how soft it is. Like it is lilac and purple, but it's very subtle, very wearable, very everyday. So if you're kind of shy and you don't want to wear something too flashy, I think this eyeshadow palette here, 304, is definitely for you. Okay, the moment of truth. Let's go ahead and blend this out. Done. If you do, personally, I don't. I've been doing wear tests off to the side. So this wear test here is about 8 or 10 hours. It's the exact same wear, no creasing, no caking, no fading, no disappearing. Sometimes concealers like to disappear during the day. It's really great. Like if you love the concealer that you bought last year, trust me, you're going to love this new and improved formula. Someone asked me once how long these concealers last me because they are very expensive. I don't remember when I purchased this. Probably last year, maybe at the end of 2020, maybe. Like it lasts at least so long that I don't even remember when I purchased it. So there is a price tag attached to it, but it lasts so long because it is high coverage. You don't need very much. So it's going to last you a very long time. Like it's a really great product. I talk about it all the time, and now there's a friend and family sale. So anyway, now let's go into the little blush over here. This is 101. I'm going to use a rougher brush number 24. I'm going to go into the blush side first, and then I will go into the highlighter afterwards. Wow, this is quite opaque. Like I barely knocked into the product here, and there's a lot of color payoff, which is good. Just be mindful because it's always much easier to apply blush than it is to remove it. This is the right type of blush that I wanted. A little bit pink, a little bit mauvey, cool toned. Like it's not too intense. I just wanted blush that adds color to my cheeks, but without looking like, wow, she's wearing blush, you know? Just very healthy, very natural, very spring. So now I'm going into the lighter highlighter one with the same brush as before because I don't know, I don't like to complicate my life, so I like to keep things very simple. The highlighter side is very subtle, like it's not a chunky glitter, it's very subtle. So if you want just a little bit of luminous glow, I think this is for you. They also have cream blushes that are nice, but I just wanted to try the duos and I'm very happy. Now for the lips, I'm going into my refined lip luminizers. Now if you like a glossy lipstick, if you like glossy lipstick, something very shiny and moisturizing, the refined lip luminizers are for you because they are the most buttery, glossy lipsticks out there. I have the shade number 4, Dahlia. I guess this is technically considered a lipstick, but it's very, very glossy. Let me see what it's defined as on the website. It says it glides onto the lips with a sheer moisturizing color. So this is not going to be like a liquid lipstick in that it's not going to be as long wearing, but it's very moisturizing. So you can just reapply this during the day instead of applying a chapstick or a lip balm. You can just keep reapplying this because it's very moisturizing. I like number 4 because it's a nice rosy color, and I think it's just a very fresh spring shade. But they have other colors. They have some much deeper, darker colors. If you want more intense payoff, go with a darker color, but they have lighter colors too. They're really lovely. I'm surprised more people don't talk about this, but I think we've had a moment of very matte lipsticks, but if you want something lighter, more moisturizing, try these ones here. You're going to like them. If you wanted the color to last longer, go in with a lip liner at first. That's a similar color. Fill in your lips with a liner and then put this over top for the glossy, moisturizing finish. But anyway, I don't think Cils de Peau does perfume or scents. So this will be our finished look. This is my take on a Cils de Peau spring makeup look, a full face of Cils de Peau. Yes, I know I cheated a couple of times, but I think it's only fair because there have been multiple times that I've done a full face of a different brand, and I've always cheated with the Cils de Peau concealer, so it only seems fair. These are wonderful. I know that some of these are new products to me. I can't wait to use this more. I can't wait to use the green and just mix more of these colors together, but I really like this. It's very subtle, very feminine, very classy, very elegant, and just really great. I think the blush duo is exactly what I wanted, just like a little hit of pink, not too much, just the right amount. The lip luminizer, it's always lovely. I need to use it more often because I sort of forget how nice it is. Everything else, I love the Radiance Primer. Where is it? This one here, because you can sort of see it peeking through. Like I don't have, the only highlighter I have is this one here. I didn't apply my all over highlighter powder, but I could. But I find with this, even with a matte foundation, it just sort of peeks through with luminosity, but not oily, not slick, just the right amount of healthy glow. So to me, this is just a really nice, fresh, easy, lovely look. If you feel like shopping the friends and family sale, please feel free to shop my affiliate links. That always helps me out and encourages me here on my channel. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. I talk about nothing but luxury beauty. I have an obsession with it. I love to do get ready with me tutorials using and reusing a lot of I call it like the classic collection or the permanent collection. I'm not super obsessed with everything new all the time. I do like new releases, but I like to revisit old classics and rehash them and reuse them in ways that are helpful for you at home. So if that sounds interesting, make sure you are subscribed. Anyway, on that note, I think this is all I have for you guys for today. I have quite a makeup mess and makeup spread in front of me, but I think this is all I have for you guys for today. So thank you all for stopping by. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.